What's going on, guys? So this week we're starting to fill up the tank. We got our scape in. I'll explain the scape in a little bit in terms of what I'm trying to go for. Got our lights in. These are the Radeon XR30s, the Gen 6 versions on a bar that slides. This is the first time I'm using this style, so I'm excited to see how it does. So far everything mounts pretty well. It's pretty flush. We got that one MP40. Put a guard in here because of some of the little fish. They could get trapped in there, or the nem that might be in here. I'm not sure yet. We'll come back with the scape in a little bit here, but let's go take a look at the sump I've been trying to work on. So I plumbed in the UV sterilizer. It's just off of this guy. Made a tube under, behind here. It's actually inside here. It goes under, up into one of the input. And then the output, I don't have any tube. It's just gonna shoot straight out. Yes, it's not ideally the way you're supposed to plumb it, because you're supposed to plumb this back into the main display, so you're not recycling the water. But to be honest, it's not that big of a deal. You guys saw the pump from last time. I did get another energy bar instead of the just standard timer, because I'm going to have let me see what I have. The UV that I need to be in here. I have this light which could have just been on a normal thing, which is fine. This guy got unstickied. I need to get a new one and stick that back on there. But the other two is two dose pumps I want to have to put in here. One's going to be probably Calc-Glosser, and the other one I'm probably going to lean towards maybe phytoplankton. Or some sort of fert, most likely cytoplankton, but yeah, I'm not sure yet. Still haven't hooked up the Trident, the auto top off. I got it plumbed in. I have it here. It's a little bit of a mess, but I still need to work on it. But auto top off is going to come back into here in this area. Here's the auto top off. This is where the apex probes are going to be. Normally, if this was wide enough, I would have it down here too, but I don't think we have space, so it's going to be either close to here on this edge, which I might lean towards, or over here. Might be over here because like the water's more stable over here. Like there's a lot of like movement. So yeah, so I have this cut. I think I'm gonna have to trim it off like just a little bit shorter, maybe not, I'm not sure. That's mainly just for splashback. I'm gonna run filter socks for a little bit, and then I'm going to take it off, and this is what that is going to be. It's just going to kind of enclose that area. I might, yeah, I'm not sure. I might cut it off and just put it up here and see what happens. We'll figure it out. I have a lot of room to play there. This piece here is going to be this lid here, just so that we don't lose evaporation for our auto top off unit. And I think that is it. I mounted those two over here. But yeah, I think that is it in terms of what was done from the last update. Yeah, and then I am ordering a lid so that we don't have any jumpers. Well, you know, it's just more of a just in case, even though this is going to be mainly frag backup, and then I'm going to probably grow macroalgae. So the idea here is going to be picking fish that won't eat the macroalgae, so those, I mean, probably no tangs. This here, the reason why this centerpiece looks like this, because I want to keep clams. So my clams right now are in the main display, but they're in the sump area. And the sump, you know, you don't really get a good look at them. So I built this so that we can put clams at the very top. And it's literally like, maybe it has like 4 inches from the surface line, so it'll have maximum par. And then we have another slot here for them. And then we have another slot back here if we want to put more than, you know, 3. Right now I'm thinking maybe 2. 1 on top, maybe 1 here if it's a baby, 1 here. So 3. Maybe if we get another one, we put 4. And then if we do get additional ones that are, you know, don't need as much par, we can have in the bottom. But the idea of this is I'm going to have the clams here, and then I'm gonna wrap this in macroalgae. So I'm probably gonna do the blue hypnea macroalgae, just kind of like glue it along the whole rock and just like kind of encrust all over it. And then this rock back here is probably going to be some sort of like, you know, Dragon's Breath macroalgae, and then this is probably going to be some sort of other variant of dragon. That's the variant I have right now in the other tank that's in the sump. And I would like to just kind of showcase, you know, a macroalgae tank up in here. It's going to be bare bottom. I kind of already decided that it's just easier to work with. I want to keep this low maintenance, just super easy, just basically just feeding and just maybe water change once, you know, 2 weeks or a month or something like that. And keep frags. That's the whole idea of this thing, is just keep frags, back up, make sure it's alive, and then some livestock that's going to be a little bit newer that I haven't kept before, but obviously I have some clownfish I want to put in here. The 2 pair clownfish, the snowflake clownfish that I have that's been with me for almost 10 years now actually. I want to keep them in here as in the main display so they have plenty of room to swim. I might get the other clownfish pair down here, just kind of get some movement down here, because we're gonna have some frags down here too, and then we'll have some frags up front here too. So that is the plan and that is the idea. We got only one pump because I don't want to overkill the circulation. I do have another pump if I ever need another one. You can put it over here. I might as well, I'm thinking about this, I might as well put it on here and not turn it on versus going, I'm just only gonna keep one for now. That way, like we'll just keep one. I'm like overthinking things right now. This right here is the heater. I didn't plug it in because, you know, the tank was dry when I was hooking everything up. Didn't want to accidentally blow up the heater because it can just run dry. But yeah, so right now, this is the auto top off water that I have currently in the bins. It's making new ones. It's probably gonna take another like 4 or 5 hours before I get another batch, and then I can fill it up and then do a water test, because the water test on the pipe, because the tank itself and the sump is all good. It's now going to be these 3 that I plumbed in to make sure that they hold water. Same thing with these. And if they all hold water, then we're pretty much good to go, and we'll just start cycling. I'm gonna do a very, very long lightless cycle. So turn off all the lights and just do like 2 months in the dark, let it cycle, put in, you know, some beneficial bacteria, some bacteria from the other tank, you know, jumpstart this and continue, you know, let it run. And once it's cycled, I'm gonna throw in pods and let the pods kind of keep up with the tank and whatnot. So here's the lighting. I did already whip out the par meter. Did a bunch of measurements. Down here, it's getting, at least right here where the 2 lights are coming in, it's about 200, and the rest is about 150-ish, and it drops off at the edge around like 120. So the bottom is pretty strong, and this is at 30%. I may do a minor adjustment of 5% just to get this closer to 100, depending on what I'm going to be keeping down here initially. It's going to be mushrooms and, like, you know, OPS and stuff like that, which they can handle around 100, but 150 is going to be kind of borderline of what is on the high side for them. So we'll figure that out in a little bit. I put in some of the frag racks I had in the old tank over here, and they're just sitting here for now, but I think I'm going to move one of them over here because I might keep the NEM box up here. I'm not sure yet, or just keep it like this. This range here is about 150 par, going up here, just because it's only one light and it's just kind of off on an angle like this. Let's see where else. The rocks back there is about 120, 130-ish, same thing there. And these platforms here, at the very top, it was, at least the top platform is around like 300. This drops around to like 250, 250-ish back there, and this is about 200-ish on that platform. So the clams will be very, very happy on these rocks. They might even need more, to be honest, but we'll see what the adjustments are there. We'll do the adjustments as needed. I did have to put in a couple of support rocks. So there's a little one here to hold this because it kind of rocks a little bit. Not holding, I don't have sand in here, so it can't really sit. Same thing with this. I actually have to put 1, 2, 3 support rocks. With this MP40 turned on, it was kind of just rocking, and I can hear a click, 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 because the rock was like banging up against the panel every time it like would do the gyre movement. So now it's stable. But yeah, so we got all the escapes in place, and then I can say it's officially starting to cycle. I put salt in the tank, did another water leak test, and that's mainly on the pipes. And I'm gonna do another one because we did just find a minor leak, and I'll show you where it was. It was not on the bulkheads up there, which is surprising. Same thing here, in here. On my first tank, it was like one of the bulkheads, and then like here, that I had to undo. But this time around, they did a pretty good job in terms of like pre-installing and screwing them in. My first leak was just here. It was very minor. It had like a small drip. I just had to tighten this, so it was fine because this piece here that I have in here is really loose. So anyways, I tightened it. Leak went away. And the other leak was here, up in here. I didn't have enough plumber's tape on there, and also it wasn't screwed like one more turn. So I undid it and I did 2 layers of plumber's tape and turned it, and it was fine there. So there was only just that little leak here and this little leak here, and I'm pretty happy with that. Everything else turned out fine. I have in here is the lids on here. So this is just to keep the evaporation in place. You can see here it's overfilled just because I was filling up the tank with salt as well, so I'm just waiting for it to evaporate down here, and we'll have the auto top off kick in. Initially I had the auto top off here. I had the wire a little bit too low, so it basically drained all the way down to where that tube was, so I made some adjustments there, and also that's why I have the line a lot higher so that I can break the siphon. It sometimes can break the siphon, but a lot higher, it just makes it harder for the pump to pump the water up there. I have the filter socks in here. Technically I don't need it, but it's just really just to cut down the noise. I still need to adjust this panel here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this yet, so we'll adjust the panel as as things progress. I have a light here, so this is gonna house some of the corals down here as well. We'll do mushrooms and just some frags, whatever. I have this basket that I bought, so this is gonna sit across like this and down. We're gonna hold it down with some rocks or something, and the mushrooms are gonna hopefully sit in place there. And we have this open place here where we can do LPS, frag pieces or whatever. And then in here, I'm going to place some blocks for filtration. I should do it now actually. We'll kind of just tuck them kind of in a pattern back there. And then also we'll do like GFO eventually down the road, and carbon or anything like that. It'll be in here. The wiring wise, so I have the Neptune setup as well. I had to calibrate the Salinity Pro. What I did was I had the wire up here, and then it's ran across and back that way. And the other ones I have not calibrated yet because I don't have the solution. I'm waiting for that to come in, and we'll do a calibration. But looking at the numbers, it looks like it's pretty accurate already. But I'll just go ahead and calibrate it just to be on the safe side. Let's see what else is down here. Oh, I have not put the Trident in yet because I'll have to start testing water when I start using it. So I'm gonna wait until I actually have some sort of livestock in here to turn it on and start testing the water, because it just can't sit there dry. But it looks like it'll fit the Trident in here. If not, I'll make a little platform or something like that, and then we'll have this across and we can sit the Trident in place there. Dosing wise, Calclosser is what I'm thinking, but I'm trying to figure out a container that's big enough that's gonna hold it for at least a couple days. I might have it on the side of the tank here, like tucked in here or something like that, which is kind of not ideal. The other thing is I can have it sit on top of here. That might be an option too. Or just in the closet that's next door to here and just have the wire under here. I don't want to drill any holes through the thing, but that might be an option. Or just run it in like a thin, I'm thinking about it right now, but in like a thin 1 gallon, but 1 gallon honestly is not enough. It might be because it's just gonna be a frag tank, but we'll see. We'll see down the road how we're gonna handle that. I might even do like 2 1 gallons and plumb them together so we have 2 gallons and just do Calclosser there. Anyways, that's another thing that we'll have to deal with down the road. I put in doors, did a bunch of adjustments and finally got it in place. I still have the wrap in here because it's gonna cycle for a while and I don't want it to get beat up. But yeah, so everything is in place and we're cycling, so that's good news. I did throw in some ammonia into the tank to start jump cycle the tank, and then I just need to give it a couple of days to let the ammonia spike, which it should spike in the next day or so. Then we'll throw in the media to house the bacteria. We don't actually have any media except for the rocks, so I'm gonna go grab those right now actually and put it down here so that we can actually start getting some bacteria growing on here. It kind of is like a little bit hazy right now just because I think it's starting to do its thing. And then I want to have the lights shut off. It's just on right now just to do the filming, but I'm gonna have it all shut off for the whole month to 2 months. I'm thinking about doing a full 2 months to get past the ugly phase of just no lights, no nothing, no livestock, no nothing. Just basically just let it run, do its thing, and just continue adding ammonia to it slowly, and just, you know, let the tank basically just ride for 2 months. And then from there do like a large water change, like 50% or so. Get rid of, you know, whatever's in the tank, throw carbon in there, throw whatever I need to do in there, clean up the tank, and then throw in the fish and then start from there. So that's my initial plan, because most of the tanks I've started with, at least for the reef tank, is about a month in and start throwing in livestock and then going through the ugly phase the next couple months. But I just want to, and they had the lights on, you know, and I had like macroalgae growing and stuff like that, but I think I'm gonna do no lights, so that's gonna be a little bit different, and it's also bare bottom. So yeah, so we'll just let this thing kind of just cycle. This is the plan now. Just we'll check up on it maybe in a month, 2 months, and see where it's at, and we'll kind of go from there. Yeah, so if you guys aren't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, and like always, to some guys, peace.